What's going on, guys? Time for a little log splitter repair. I've had this hose go. This is actually a hydraulic hose and it doesn't need to be, but the guy at the hardware store, he told me that I should get this because it's a little stronger. But I think what the problem was is that it's a little too rigid, and you see this bend here, the pipe has been, or the hose has been leaking from here, so it's got to replace. So I went and picked up a hose, and I'm going back to the red hose that I had on. This shouldn't be too messy. I hate the mess. Yeah, this hose, I think it lasts a little longer because this is a little more rigid. So let's get this thing off and get this thing back in action here. I'm going to be buying a valve to replace here soon. And it's not a fun job to repair it. It's a little meticulous. It's relatively easy overall, but it's just playing around with it and stuff like that. It's not as simple as wham, boom, bam, and then it's on, right? So I'm not surprised it's giving me a problem, but it is coming. This hose doesn't compress under the clamp as easily. Here we go. Yeah, no oil, because it just drains back down into the system, right? Yeah, and the other splitter, I just bought a motor for it, and I bought the wrong spider gear for the coupler, so I have to take it back and I have to get the right size. And this one actually needs repair on the metal flange here where the filter comes off, because it's leaking around the flange on the tank. This should just be a quick fix. Slap this on and I'm good to go. Basically, both log splitters have been down for a little bit, but not too long, just like a couple of days. I didn't use it yesterday. I just came in to do some cutting, and then there was some smoker wood that was already chopped up or cut up, so I just chopped it up into chunks and added to the smoker wood stock. After I do some splitting right now, I want to bag up some smoker wood, and there's not really much going on here. I have to get some more wood because all I'm left with is there's a bunch of red oak there, and there's a bunch of Norway maple. So I need a bunch of other species, or 2 or 3 other species, to keep up with my mix in my crates. I don't like trying to sell one species at a time because I never seem to get enough stock to be able to do so. Every once in a while I might get like 2 or 3 loads in my truck of oak, and other stuff, I mean, maybe sometimes some big black locust, a lot of Norway maple, which is not the greatest, so I don't like stocking up that stuff into one single order for sure. And there's nothing else that I really get a lot of. I do have a 5/16 or an 8mm socket in the truck that I could use, so if I have any leaks I'll just use that to tighten this up. And the new motor that I got, I was waiting for it to come in, and it took a while because they didn't have any. It's actually more cc, so it's a little more powerful, going from 190 to 212. And what I like about it too is it's not a Honda, it's called I call it a Chonda. So it's basically Honda's motors. The patent, whatever happened with it, it ended or something like that. So companies have been building identical engines. Yeah, what I like about it is it's got a much bigger fuel tank on it. I had almost a full gas tank in the old motor, so I poured it out, and it could still take a lot of gas in that tank. So I'll save a couple minutes here and there by not having to refill. Hose is a little long, maybe I can cut some off later. Throttle, choke, pull. split pretty good. You saw some of these nice rounds I kind of avoided, like this one. Could have done this one too. It's a bit after 7:30, so that's why I stopped, but I do want to bag up some smoker wood. Some of these I got to cut a little bit off of. They're just a little bit too long, some of them. And I also noticed that some of these here, there's like 3 or 4 here. Just only 1, 2, 3 that I got to split still, or that I got to cut still. And I missed these last time. I did a whole bunch of cutting last time, and I thought I cut everything, but I didn't. So next time I'm here, I'll bust out the saw. I'll finish off. See, I got that sugar maple one. I got to cut into smoker wood because I don't have any sugar maple in here, and I've split up all the smoker wood that I have, all the sugar maple that I have for smoker wood. So I actually have to get more because that supply just keeps getting drained. I do want to split up some of this oak here, or this apple, sorry, and I'm going to be bagging whatever I can up from in here. So I'll try and finish this whole crate. That's, I don't know, maybe about 10 bags or so, and then I'll bring them back to the shop tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing some deliveries. I'm going to be doing at least one anyway. So I'm going to start taking from this row here and do 2 face cords for this guy. Then I got somebody else to do, they want another 2 face cords. Somebody else wants a half a cord, and they're in my neighborhood. I have to go through my text, but I haven't gotten back to them in a bit. So I've just been busy. I haven't been able to deliver wood because I'm doing all the scrap metal recycling, right? I'm getting lots of good work, and actually, yeah, some very good pay. And today I took some stuff in, and what happens is sometimes I take, first of all, I take everything in bins, in like round garbage bins or like recycle bins, and I bring it into the scales, and then you put everything on the scales and you weigh them. But sometimes if you have a lot of that stuff, then you actually put it on carts and then you bring it in, right? And what they did was, I had maybe, I don't know, maybe 7 pounds of aluminum sheet, and the price is like 65 cents a pound, and they paid me for the weight of the cart too, so I got like an extra 200 bucks for nothing, right? So I looked at the pay thing and it said 400 and change, and I was like, wow. Yeah, there was some other metal, and there was some aluminum, there was some copper, and I was expecting about maybe a little over 200, maybe 250, and it said 433 bucks. So that's Canadian, so 433 bucks, that's probably about, I don't know, maybe 340 bucks, something like that, give or take. So that turned out in my favor. And one time that happened to me before, but it wasn't that they weighed the cart and gave me the weight for the cart and the metal. They actually paid me for the weight of my truck. My truck is 8,000 pounds. So I just had like a stove and maybe a fridge and maybe a few other pieces of metal, and I thought I was going to get like 35, 40 bucks, and I ended up getting like 500 bucks. So that worked out really well that day too. Yeah, and as for the rest of the pile, like I said, there's only some Norway maple in here. There is one piece of mulberry right here. I got to shorten this one. And there is this piece of elm, and I have to cut this elm up because it's not splitting with the splitter. All the rest of this big stuff back in here is red oak. I could have split that one tonight if I had time, the one on top. But yeah, all of this is red oak. There is 1 or 2 pieces of honey locust. There's one there. There's another one up in here somewhere. And then there's actually a couple pieces of black walnut in the back. So that's pretty much it. Also, there is some cherry here, but the cherry's for smoker wood. If you look at the crate back there on the right, you could see that it's pretty much full. I actually have to cut up like one of these cherry rounds that are back here. And I'll finish off that crate, and that'll be full. And then what I should do is actually make some bags to bring to the shop, because I have sold some lately. So I guess what I'll do next time is I'll bag up some of that cherry, bring it back, and then split up some more of that stuff there. There's maybe, I don't know, maybe 1/3 of a face cord left of the cherry, so there's going to be a bit that I have to pile on the side, and because that crate's full, I can't put it in the crates. I have to keep it on the side for later, right, so I can cut and split it another day. Okay, so I just got to throw these boiler pieces into the 40-yard bin. The bin's almost half full. And then over here I emptied out some of what was in the wheelbarrows, and I filled up this crate here, so I have to bring an empty one over and start filling that. Then I have this pile here. Some of it's mixed in with some straight 14-inch and then some 16-inch, so that's going to be going in 2 separate crates. The one at the top just needs about a dozen pieces of 18-inch, and then I need another 1/3 of a crate there so I could start filling up another one on top. This one's like halfway, and I got to check that one. I got to finish that one up there, and then I got to bring one crate over and start filling that one too, and this one's almost full as well. And then after that, this is 12-inch, so I got to start stacking in there. I got some 12-inch behind the splitter. I'm going to move the splitter, I'm going to move the light and start stacking these, and I'm going to do a little bit of rearranging in here. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but where the splitter is, it's a very good position with the lighting. I have to stand facing the light. I was thinking about moving it over there because I'm probably going to be stocking all my unsplit wood in that corner. I might do some wood stacking in there, but it'd be nice to get that pile right in the back so that when I want to sell wood, I can access it with the truck and I can back in. So as long as I don't have wood in this area here, I can get at that back stack pretty good, and these crates as well. I did 10 bags of apple in the corner, so I'm going to bring them over to the shop tomorrow when I come and get those 2 face cords of wood loaded up for the truck. And what else am I going to do? I'm going to do a little bit more cleanup, possibly some splitting during the day, but I also want to pick up some wood, so I'm going to try and pick up some wood at the tree service yard on my way here. So anyways guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, comment, and all that good stuff.